So about a week ago, I put out a community post on my channel saying, I have an interesting idea. Please tell me your unpopular Genshin Impact opinions and I will read them and discuss them in an upcoming video. And you guys left me a few interesting opinions and I want to read them in this video. So yeah, that's the entire point of this video. I'm going to read your unpopular opinions and I'm going to talk about my opinion of them or what I think about them. So yeah, I mean, we'll probably go through about like half of them in this video because there is quite a few and I feel like I don't want to ramble here for about 20 hours, so yeah, let's just start by getting into it. So the first comment is, I swear if I see someone saying waifu over meta thinking it's an unpopular opinion, I'm a slap a bitch. Well, yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, it's not that unpopular of an opinion. I've seen it pretty commonly in the community. Like it used to be like, oh, meta's important, but then we swapped over to waifu over meta. So I can agree with that. You know, it's becoming more and more of a popular thing, which I think is good because you don't need meta in Genshin Impact. Like I know it's a thing. Like you know Bennett, you got your Zhongli, you know they're the most used characters in the Abyss, but you don't need them to beat the game. Like, they're nice to have, makes the game easier, but you don't need it to beat the game, you know. But like, yeah, so let's get into the first actual popular opinion. Melee isn't exactly all what Childe is about, and Rage Childe is actually fun when you get used to it, even on phones. My face, whoa, Meadow. Well, you see, I can kind of agree with that one. Like, I know a lot of people use Childe for Melee, but you can use his bow form, and his bow form actually does a lot of damage. Now, whenever I use Childe's bow form, I tend to get maybe about 7-8k damage because, you know, if you build on Childe, you build a lot of crit rate, and if you crit, you're going to be doing a lot of damage anyway, so I do like 7 to 8k on average with a charge shot with Childe, which is actually quite a lot for a bow user, so, yeah, like, I feel like his bow form's a bit underrated. Like, yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just as a sub DPS, but no, you can use him as a main DPS, you can use his bow form, like, it's actually good at just, like, dispersing, you know, single targets, you know. They're pretty small, but that's my thought about it, you know, like, it can be kind of fun, like, even on phone, like, mobile aiming, a bit bad sometimes, a bit stinky, but, yeah, you can get away with it. Okay, we've got another comment from Hirai. Yes, Bennett is broken, yes, everyone uses him, but he is boring. You just drop his ult and forget he exists. Now, yeah, that's kind of correct, actually. I like Bennett's visual design. His visual design is very nice to see. I kind of like, you know, looking at it. I think it's pretty cool, but you are right about that though. Like, a lot of people do forget about Bennett once you drop his ult. Like, when you drop the Bennett ult, that's it, you just switch out. And a lot of people don't use his E. Like, his E can do a good amount of damage, actually. Like, I've seen a lot of people build pyro damage on Bennett. He's actually been pretty fun to look around. You know, he's also good for pyro application, but yeah, he's not the most boring. Like, I think there's more boring characters out there, but I can kind of agree with his sentiment in a way. Like, a lot of people just forget that he exists because you just put his ult down. That's it, you know. Nothing else. I understand that. Okay, so we got next comment from John. I'm not a fan of characters who have to decrease their HP just to activate their skills. That's fair enough. Characters who decrease their HP to activate their skills, to me personally, I think it's more like a risk-reward kind of thing. Even though this can be counteracted by putting up a shield, you know, just look at Noelle, Zhongli, like, you could play Hu Tao, you could drop a shield down, and then switch to her and then lower her HP, which is kind of like the risk here. Lowering your HP to use a skill is kind of a high-risk, high-reward thing. Keeping your HP below 50% on Hu Tao to maximise your damage, that's kind of like a high-risk thing to do. Like, you're always at risk of dying, but your damage output's going to be really fun and really nice to see. So I can understand why you might not be a fan of it, because it makes it a bit risky, you know? Like, you always keep an eye on that health bar, whereas with other characters you could just, you know, press Q, do a lot of damage, you know, have fun. Look at Zhao, you know, you just do plunge attacks, you know, you have fun, you know? You don't need to decrease your HP to do your skills. So, I can agree with that, you know, decreasing your HP to activate your skills is kinda like a valid thing to not like, because it just puts a lot of unnecessary stress, you know? So right, we got one from Iwaizumi Hajime, 27, Pufei founder. I wish there was more male characters. I know my host holding to the waifu because more profit sort of approach to getting sales, but the imbalance makes me a bit sad at the lost potential of other amazing male characters. And so the second point is, I find Ganyu pretty boring and plain. I'm not excited or related whenever I see her or talk to her in game, or really see her as an insignificant story-wise workaholic that just so happens to be an adepti to spice things up. Nothing that really hypes me up despite this. I can't deny that damage is insane. For my first Leo 5-star, I decided to try and get her on a rerun. Well, you know, Ganyu's pretty fun, you know, but we'll start with your first point, and wish there was more male characters. Yes, I agree with this. We do need more male characters. We've had things spiced up with getting Kazuha recently, but look at Inazuma, look at the characters that are coming in the first patch. So we have Sayu, we have Yomiya, we have Ayaka, you know, 3 female characters. I understand that like a lot of people pull on waifus a lot more than husbandos in Genshin, because sadly some of the husbandos just didn't get pulled on too much. Like Childe, I've heard apparently didn't do very well. I can't confirm or deny this statement though, but I know for a fact Albedo didn't do very well, but that could be because of like after the whole Zhongli thing. But then again, you got the male characters that do really well, like Zhongli, and all the 4-star male characters, very nice too. I mean, have you seen Bennett? Have you seen Chongyun? He's really fun to use in shows, amazing. Who else is a male character? But my point is, there isn't actually that many male characters in the game. There's about a 1-to-2 ratio, I think, so there's like 10 male characters and 20 female characters in Genshin Impact right now, and I feel like we need to increase that a little bit, you know, because a lot of the male characters are actually kind of fun, and also, you don't need to make a waifu every time to get profit, you know, and I understand that waifus tend to sell a bit better, but you can always just, you know, add in more male characters, and I feel like people will pull on it, you know, if they're fun, aesthetically pleasing, cool to use, I feel like, you know, it would be fine, you know, you'll be fine. And if put by Ganyu, I can understand that as well, because she is a bit of a workaholic. Like, I like Ganyu's, like, visual appearance, design. Like, I think being a workaholic is pretty cool. You know, it doesn't resonate with me too well. I mean, have you seen my procrastination? It's pretty cool. You can ask my friends about it. But the weird thing is, like, with that whole workaholic thing that just has to be an adeptite to spice things up, well, that is mostly her personality. We don't know too much about her after that. I mean, I've heard her story quest isn't even that good. I've not played it, but I've heard it's just about her going around collecting taxes or something, like doing her work. I mean, I guess that does emphasize the fact that she does a lot of work, but yeah. She doesn't have too much to her design right now. I mean, too much of her character, like, story, personally, like, compared to other characters in the game, so I can kind of agree with that. But you're right about her damage, though. Okay, we got one from Lavinge Lavato, who says, the new 5-star characters are getting so much puff that the older 5-stars are losing their value, like Diluc and Keqing. Well, yes, you're right. Now, why do I think you're right? Well, right here. Well, think about it, right. Look at a Eula. You build stacks, you get stacks, you hold E, you use your stacks to get more defense, and then your ult stacks a bunch of stacks, which deal increased damage the more stacks you... Like, there's a lot of mechanics going on here. Like Ganyu, she's got a taunt, bow, charge shot, like scatter arrow, like ults that rains from the sky. Zhongli, a big pillar, big PP meteor. Childe has like a melee stance, range stance, like big damage. Like a lot of the new characters in Genshin have a lot of puff in their kits. You know, you could say like time after time, right? It's not because of like power creep, it's because feature creep, really. Like if you release a simple 5-star now, people are gonna be like, oh, but they're not as interesting as blank, or they're not as interesting as, you know, this or that. So I feel like it's a case of, right, because like they're putting so many unique things into each and every new 5-star that comes out into the game, they need to do it. Like, it's part of like some kind of like game. I think it's like part of like a game design like theory that, you know, you need to add features, like, you know, new features to get people to pull on them. Like, for example, what if you just created a character that was really simple? People aren't really going to pull on it for that. But then again, the Genshin community, time after time, it doesn't really conform to those norms. They tend to pull on characters they enjoy, which I think is pretty damn cool if you ask me, because that shows that we don't need to have a feature creep to do it. But yeah, the new characters are definitely getting a lot more puff, so the older 5-stars are kind of losing a bit of value here. Like, Diluc was one of the strongest damage dealers in the game, and now people are like, I really don't want to get him, I lost 50-50, I'm sad now. But yeah, I mean, it must be sad. I wish the standing characters get a bit more love. Yeah, every now and then. Right, Daphne also says, Eula isn't that fun. Fair enough, you know? Like, I mean, I'm a guy who wants to try out physical damage at some point, but I can understand what you've thought about Eula. She feels a bit clunky to me when I tried her out in the test run. Sadly, I don't have her, so I can't really give that much of an informed opinion, but she doesn't look as fun compared to some other characters in the game. Like, I'd rather play like Childe over a Eula, Kazuha over a Eula. Yeah, I'd rather play a lot of other characters over her, but she is a bit of fun every now and then, you know? But I can agree with that sentiment, you know, that she isn't that, you know, she's not as fun compared to other characters. And for the last one for this video, at least, right, because we're gonna read like a lot of these, right? Lisa is underrated Lumao. Hat Cubs, yes and no. Now, you might be asking, well, okay, but why you say yes and no here, right? Lisa's underrated in the fact that she's a Catalyst Electro user. A lot of people ditched her right away because they wanted other characters. Now, yes, I agree with that. People did that a lot, and I also did it, and I tried building my Lisa. But the thing is that obviously a lot of people don't use her because people see her numbers and be like, oh, she doesn't do much damage. But the thing is that her E does a lot of damage, dude. Like, I know you guys are using her like main attacks, but like, have you tried her E? Her E is amazing. Like, it does a lot of damage. And also her ult, yeah, it's a circle. It's not like Beidou's ult. You know, Beidou's ult is like universal, but like the circle is still good if you can like keep them in one spot. I mean, okay, you got the problem of overloaded knocking them out, but her ult is actually really good. Like, Lisa and Tartaglia ult was one of like the first combos I tried in Genshin before I realized that Beidou could go over to Tartaglia. Like, I used to use Lisa and Tartaglia all the time, and it was really fun. But yeah, I understand it. She's underrated, but like, also yes and no, because a lot of people try to use her as a main DPS, which I don't really agree with too much here. But yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, she's kind of underrated actually. Now that I think about it. But we got a lot of other. You know, we got a lot of other ones to go through, and you know, I'm gonna make a part 2 to this video because I want to read them all, but like not make this video like 30 minutes long. Unless people really want a 30-minute long video. If you want a 30-minute long video, let me know, because you know, I don't know, I feel like people would be interested in that. But if you are, let me know anyways. But I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Take care, everyone. You know, let me know what your thoughts are on these like opinions in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in another video soon. Probably a part 2 to this video. Have a lovely day, everyone. Take care.